Maplestory. How you robbed me of all my summer productivity, I will never understand. So, it's been a while since my last video, and you can thank in large part to this stupid fucking game. Maplestory holds a very special place in my heart. What with it being probably my second most played game ever after League of Legends. But as much as I want to sing the praises and usher you to play this 2D platformer pixel art MMO, looking at it objectively, this game isn't in a great state. More specifically, the global Maplestory server is not in a great state when you compare it to its Korean counterpart, which is still one of the most played MMOs in Korea today. From a lack of communication to laggy and buggy servers to god-awful compensations, the team at Nexon America don't have the greatest reputation in the community. And honestly, it really saddens me that this game that I love can't reach its fullest potential due to the lack of care. Now for the rest of the video, take it with a grain of salt, as most of it is purely my opinion. If you disagree with me on something, feel free to do so. I really don't want to make this comparison, but having played Final Fantasy XIV and loving it, if the devs had even a fourth of the care that Yoshi P and his team has for FF14, then the game wouldn't be dogged on so much in the community, and I wouldn't have to actively tell my friends to never get into Maplestory. FF14 is definitely a better game, and the only reason I'm not subbed to it right now is because I just enjoy the gameplay loop of Maplestory a lot better. FF requires me to sit down and enjoy the story, while Maplestory I can just turn my brain off and casually grind and enjoy the game. I genuinely think that the foundation of the game is absolutely spectacular and is very fun to play. But there are systems in the game that make it really hard for new players and even casual players to get into. This game has a reputation of being very pay to win if you are not playing on a very specific server called Reboot. And this is more specific to the global Maplestory server, because although Korean Maplestory isn't free from pay to win, it has the benefit that a free to play player can buy most things, including cash shop items, with obtainable in-game currency through the in-game marketplace called the Auction House. In Global, we also have an auction house to sell items and cosmetics, but for some godforsaken reason, we can't buy important progression items like cubes or quality of life items such as pet skills. Not to mention, because of Korean Maplestory's thriving player base, the economy of the game is much healthier, allowing for free-to-play players to purchase even endgame items at a reasonable price. I don't think Global will ever implement this better auction house for us, at least not for a very long time. But I do think this is the way for Nexon to bring in not only more new players, but also for more Dolphin players. Whales seem to be what's keeping this game afloat and alive at the moment, whether it be fashion story players or big number players. So having a sizable secondary paying player base is a win-win. Nexon gets more money, while players become a bit more comfortable spending money on the game to progress without being pressured or pigeonholed into whaling. Also, try pumping out more cosmetics. Shit works for Riot.
Hey, we still on for tonight, Mooncake? I gotta... hey, Loon.
But even without these nice quality of life aspects, the auction house is still a great system for buying and selling items, and is the primary reason I decided to move to regular servers from the free-to-play server Reboot. But not all systems are created equal. In fact, in both the regular server and Reboot, there is a system that plagues this godforsaken shit game. For those who don't play Maple, I think it would be best to explain the other progression systems that exist in the game to really show you to scale how bullshit the system Star Forcing is. We have our basic level up system. Every time you level up, you get points to invest into skills and stats. We have the systems of Legion and Arcane symbols that can be progressed via doing dailies and playing the game normally. We have the equipment system, where just like any other game, by killing harder bosses, you get better equipment to make you stronger. There might be a few more systems I'm missing, but these are what I consider to be the base progression systems of the game that allows you to get stronger by simply investing time and playing the game. Then we go up a tier and we get Flames. Flames are obtainable items from events and bosses that apply bonus stats to your equipment. Every flame is consumable and the stat that they give is random. Most people don't have a problem with flames because, well, they are important to increasing damage, and they have the smallest impact to gains while not being too needy on the player. A very low risk, low reward system that you can usually settle on when you get a decent enough stats and only min-max at the very late stages of the game. Above this, we have cubes. Cubes are basically the gambling system for progression in this game. Cubes are also consumable that can be obtained from bosses and events, but are also buyable from the cash shop, be it real money on real servers or hard-earned meso in Reboot. Every time you apply a cube for an equipment with potential, it re-rolls that potential. There are 4 tiers of potential, and each cube has a certain percentage of increasing the potential rank, with legendary being the highest. The cube system is honestly just gambling, with each equip having 3 lines and each line rolling independently, very similar to a slot machine. But unlike slot machines, you can settle for 2 or even 1 line of what you want and still get decent gains from them. In my mind, cubes are a very low risk system that can provide pretty sizable damage gains, but as someone progresses through the game, steadily cubing all their equips to 1 or 2 lines of their stat, they will eventually reach a point where they want to push to all 3 lines to truly min-max. And once they reach that point, the cubing system gets really expensive. Rolling 3 perfect lines can take hundreds of thousands of cubes just for 1 item. You have to do that with every piece of equipment, which is why I prefer we get Korea treatment and make cubes buyable from the auction house. The reason cubes aren't hated as for most casuals, settling for 2 to 1 lines can get you very far into the game. It's only when you're a true Maple degenerate that you dread having to keep with 3 perfect lines. And there ain't nothing wrong with a little gambling, am I right, fellas? And finally, we return to the original topic of this section. Dumb ass, stupid ass star forcing. Star forcing is a system similar to many equipment upgrade systems present in many other MMOs, where you simply put in-game currency into the equipment and there's a chance the item will go up in a level and increase stats. So, star forcing is probably the easiest system to understand if you're coming from another MMO. However, this piece of shit system has some seriously frustrating and rage-inducing flaws with it. After your equipment reaches a certain star level, there is a chance upon failure for your equipment to go down a star. This is nothing new. I'm pretty sure other MMOs also have something like this as well. But it doesn't end there. As you go up in star, the cost of upgrading exponentially increases. So, in the higher star ranks, you can end up sinking billions of mesos into one piece of equipment due to it failing over and over again and going down a star. But that isn't even the cherry on the top of this shit cake. Every time you fail, there isn't just a chance of your equipment going down a star, there is also a chance of it straight up getting destroyed. Oh, but don't worry, your destroyed equipment left behind a trace of itself. It's all the hard work you put in for your flames and cubes. So as long as you find a spare of the same kind, you can transfer the traces to the new equipment. It'll be like nothing happened. Oh, well, what's this? Your equipment is only 12 stars now when it was originally 17, and now you have to re-star force it back up to all the way, potentially costing you millions and maybe even billions? Well, sucks to sucks, loser. Give us more money. I actively dread wanting to star force because I'm so scared of sinking my money to get 0 return. At least with cubes, you don't need to worry about 0 return until you try to push to min-max. Star forcing is something every player, casual or hardcore, will have to invest into if they want to be strong. And the further you go into star forcing, the worse it gets. Until you get 17 stars, you can safeguard your item so that it doesn't blow up. But past 17, you have to pray to RNGesus to have mercy on your soul. The ideal endgame right now is to get your equipment to 22 stars, as anything past it is nigh impossible. But, oh, you're at 20 stars and your equipment just boomed? Back to 12 stars, you dumb bitch. God, I fucking hate this system, and in honesty, would so much prefer if next time just lower success odds and hike the prices if they remove downgrading and booming equipment. At least it feels less bad to fail at 10% odds at double/triple the price than to fail 30% and actively weaken yourself only to invest more money to get yourself back to where you were originally. And there exists another pretty frustrating system in the form of scrolling, but that's just regular server exclusive. And I think I've been too negative in this video, so I'm gonna stop right there. Maplestory is genuinely a fun game. Training is relaxing, doing bosses is fun, and joining a guild makes the game super social. Systems like Legion and personally Cuban make progression enjoyable. The BGMs in this game are always bangers, and while the visuals aren't for everybody, the game is very bright and colorful, which is what usually keeps people playing. But again, while I've sunk in thousands of hours into this game, I can't recommend this game to anyone unless you're a hardcore masochist like me who has developed a very abusive relationship with Maple. But if you are interested in playing, my best advice, whether you play on Reboot or regular servers, is to join a guild. They can give you advice on how to progress. If you develop enough of a bond with them, ask them for some carries through bosses for better equipment. You also get some very nice guild buffs that will help you with leveling and bossing. You are actively limiting yourself if you don't join a guild. I myself am currently not in a guild because I'm still fairly new to regular servers, which is the excuse I give myself because I actually am a shy introvert that's too much of a bitch to step out of his solo playstyle. I think I've been rambling long enough. Sorry Nish and Teddy for not uploading for 3 whole goddamn months, but most importantly, don't do shrooms, kids, because eventually these shrooms are gonna come collect their payment after you spent way too much on video game cosmetics. Oh fuck, you're here too, right?